Yeah, getting ready to go outside here and see if I see the UFO. I didn't do any focus meditation this morning because it was causing me some issues. I'm taking a break from it for a while. It can, because there's lots of things it can. Oh, I'm not going to get into all of it, but but one thing it can happen though is when you do the deep focus meditation, it pops your eardrums and then allows stuff to get in there easier, making you more susceptible to infections and stuff like that. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm taking a break from that. But I wanted to document. There was something I wanted to. I already did document it on my videos, but I didn't quite summarize this part enough. I don't think. That first video I did when I documented it, I was just getting back from the embassy when I was getting my passport, and I did talk about it on one of the video documents. But Cellphone man, when we visited when we stayed at the 12 p.m. hotel in Bangkok on March 9th through 11th, the first trip when I dropped off the paperwork for my passport. Cellphone man at the 12 p.m. hotel in Bangkok. I documented him. The day I dropped my paperwork off that evening, on the 9th, my wife and I were walking down those steps out of the hotel that I showed on the video, just like I showed on the video where that guy was sitting. And the guy I referred to as Cellphone man was sitting there. It was March 9th, and he started. I'm not going to get into the details of what he was saying specifically, but he started spouting off a bunch of stuff, pretending to be talking on a cell phone. He's in the bag? Okay. He was pretending to be talking on a cell phone.
I'll pee real quick.
Okay. And started spouting off some information about me in kind of a blackmailish kind of way. It's not really something that could really be used as blackmail. In fact, kind of the opposite if they really looked at the whole situation, actually. But it doesn't really blackmail me at all. I think they know that now. But they probably finally did I assume they finally did their homework now. But anyway, so he was saying some stuff on a cell phone, trying to get my attention. And he stayed at the same hotel we did for like 2 days. And did I talk about the driver on those videos? It's kind of a long story. But I just wanted to talk about one part of it specifically, briefly. Yeah, I talked about his driver that last day on March 11th, on checkout day. Or did he check out March 10th or 11th? I forget. No, it was March 11th. He checked out a few hours before we did, didn't he? Or did we stay till the 12th? Hey, didn't we stay till the 12th?
Yeah.
And he checked out on the 11th, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. But his driver was, I remember when his driver came up to me and started talking to me in English. He's supposed to be like a Thai driver, but the way he was talking to me, the way his driver was talking to me, I could, and his customs and stuff, I could tell he was an American. He wasn't Thai. He was an American Thai person that spoke Thai, is what I could tell, because he was not using the same typical kind of customs that a Thai person would greet you. I remember when he walked up and stuck out his hand to shake my hand. That's one commonality, something uncommon right there. And then when I shook his hand, of course his hand was wet. I remember, and he started talking to me about that guy. He started giving me his story, like, oh, he's an expat from lives up in Khon Kaen, or something like that. Remember? And yeah, he started giving me his story. The guy himself didn't actually talk to me directly, except when I heard him talking on the cell phone. But what I wanted to talk about specifically was on March 10th? Yeah, March 10th. He was out there like standing outside the hotel lobby, making faces at us, and I remember I kind of stood there and stared him down right back, and I think I might have made him nervous. It might have even aggravated him a little bit because he was expecting me to be intimidated. But I kind of just stood there staring him down right back, and I even remember smiled at him. And there was a girl, or a lady, an older lady, about in her probably 40s, I would say. Definitely 40s, I would say. She walked up. She was Asian. I don't know what nationality, but she was Asian. And then she walked up next to him out there, and she started making hand gestures at me and making funny faces at me too, just like what he was doing. And that was on the evening of March 10th. And then I believe it was, I should be about accurate with my dates here. But I remember then the next morning, March 11th, when I went for a walk at the hotel through Limfini Park, I saw her again. You know, I mean, I saw her again. She walked right by me, and she was making an effort to get my attention. They wanted me to see them. Okay, it wasn't like secret surveillance or anything. They wanted me to be seen when they did it. And she walks by me and she makes the same hand gesture at me. And I actually stopped and like turned around like and looked for a second, like, holy crap, that's actually the same woman. And that's not an accident. Okay, they're doing that on purpose, clearly. And then when I got back to the hotel, my wife and I were down in the lobby having breakfast right after my walk, and the police started walking around. The police were out there. I remember the whole time. I mean, each day we were there, the police were always hanging out until that guy left, and they stopped doing it. As soon as that guy left, I didn't see the police again. But I remember the police kind of walked in. They were kind of wandering around, they kind of looked over at us, but they didn't approach us. They didn't make any contact or anything, and then they left. And I could tell they were looking at us, though. I think they were hoping that I would follow her. Okay, I think that's what they were hoping I would do. That's why they had the cops there waiting when I got back. If I would have followed her, I probably would have been arrested or something, or maybe arrested, who knows, out there. It looks like he was probably trying to get me arrested, or basically trying to set me up, I think, is what that was. Because I really think when she walked by me in the park, I think they were trying to get me to follow her, I think is what they were trying to do. Of course I didn't, and that's something you should never do in that situation, but ever. But I actually did, it shocked me. But I did kind of stop and turn around and I looked at her as she walked by me, and like, holy crap, that's her again. And then, but anyway, I just wanted to summarize that part of the story briefly, because I don't know if that first video I did that morning in April when I came back from the embassy, I didn't do the video document until like April after I picked up my passport. But yeah, I don't think I talked about it on that video. I know I talked about it on one of the videos I put in description. But I'll post this video as well, maybe in description, or maybe just put it on that channel as well, because that was part of the story I didn't really I should have got into a little more. Actually, they were pretty malicious. It wasn't just like it was harassment, but there was some. It looked like they might have been trying to do some pretty malicious stuff. Okay, and that was just one of the encounters. That was the encounter between March 9th and March 9th to March 11th, this year, 2026. And then when I went back to pick up my passport in April, there were some additional encounters, actually. In fact, the night before I did that video, where I was talking about it, after I picked up my passport, the night before I did that video, it happened. Actually, some more stuff had happened. But in fact, when you see me walking up to the hotel, you see that guy sitting there in that same spot. I suspect that might have been one of the individuals as well. Actually, he kind of looked similar to some of the people I saw the night before. Similar kind of beard, even wearing a similar color T-shirt. And you know what? In fact, that same guy I saw sitting there, I think I saw that same guy too over there by the 93 hotel, actually. But anyway, I'm not going to get into it. I just wanted to summarize that part of the story with him and that girl, Cellphone man and the woman, because the woman, I think the intention was to try to get me to follow her, is what it looked like to me. So I just wanted to summarize that part of the story briefly. So that's it, just as a document that happened, as a document diary that actually did happen. And I already documented on the video I did that in April when I came back from the embassy, when I picked up my passport already. And there's a bunch of videos in the description as well, including from including that first UFO video on the beach, on Juneteenth Beach, on June 4th, 2024. That was the first encounter, actually. But they weren't being harassing on that encounter, though. They were, I think, more like trying to distract me and prevent me from seeing it. But I already covered all that on the video. I just wanted to, and I show you on that first video from the beach, but because in fact some of them are even on the video, particularly the guy sitting in front of us with the hat. But anyway, I won't get into all that. I just wanted to briefly summarize that part, talking about Cellphone man and the woman, because I do believe they were trying to get me to follow her, and maybe trying to get me arrested, I think is what it looked like they were trying to do. But anyway, that's it. Just a document diary there. Let's go.